What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the third episode of Techno Tutorials. Today I'll be showing you a very useful mod. That's a lot of varies. And this mod is basically used to figure out most of your crafting recipes. Basically it will pretty much have all of the recipes for, the regular crafting table and some of the modded, recipes for, stuff like the fermenter. If you're familiar with forestry, you'll know what that does. But you might not know all the recipes. So, what's this tutorial about, Techno? Well, it's about figuring stuff out. And, while I'm throwing up lights on the ceiling, we might as well start with this tutorial. Okay, so, last time I showed you this. Now I'm going to show you this. Basically, the whole outside is basically NEI, and you can enable it, or I just disabled it, and enable it using the O key by default. Obviously this is delete mode. You can click on it and just start clicking and it will delete stuff. Or you could press this button and, hold on, let me throw my stuff into a chest over here. Just my useful stuff, really. Just my, bread, my furnaces. Or not my furnaces. My, just this stuff. My boots. Just keep on my armor. Okay, so basically, you can just, I believe, press this and hold shift. And then click it again, and it will delete all the items right as that tooltip shows right up there. Boom. Just deleted all the items in my inventory. It will delete if you have such chest open. If you go like this and do the same thing. This is the inventory screen up here also, so it will delete everything from that area that you're looking at. With that said, you can basically delete most things if you're not careful. But there's creative mode, just to turn you into creative mode. Magnet mode. Can hold on, let me get deleted all the stuff, of course. But if I was to say throw a piece of bread on the ground over here, and I'm like, well, okay, let's say these are mobs. Mobs are coming at me, and I wanted to pick up this very important tool set that I just died or something. And they're like coming at me, but I don't want to go closer to them because I'll get killed. So you press magnet mode. Boom, just drags them all right to your inventory. Pretty smooth. I would say better than the Coin of Fortune from Xeno's Reliquary. So obviously, yeah. We got time set to dawn. What does that do? Time sets to dawn. You can also right-click these, and that will disable it. Now, I can just basically keep it noon all the time by just right-clicking on all of these, and basically keeping everything off but noon. And when it turns to dusk, it will automatically reset to noon. It's a pretty useful feature, especially for tutorials like this one. But I'm in a closed room, so it doesn't really matter. Heal the player. Pretty simple. If I was to say, lose my boots, and I dropped. Whoopsie. I can click this, and it just refilled all my hearts. It will also restore all your hunger. Pretty useful stuff. I use this sometimes when I'm in kind of a pickle with mobs, and then I'm like, oh no, the mobs are coming after me. I've got half heart left. Boop! I'm fixed. These things can be used to, let's say, all my stuff was deleted, okay? All of it was deleted. It was all died. It all died. But if you got the second to click on that little load tab, on one of the load tabs, you can click on this. Everything in your inventory, the exact same slots they were in, all right back in your inventory, which is pretty cool. And then you can delete this if you no longer want that save. But these are the cheat mode only stuff, so let's show you some of the non-cheat modes and some of the options. Okay, so as you can see, these are some of the global settings. As you can see, NEI enabled, NEI disabled. This will only allow the options tab to be shown, and if you press O, then that will be disabled, even if you press the O tab. This is cheat mode. This is basically, you can spawn stuff in, okay? It lets you spawn anything in, and all that good stuff. Sorry about that. That was a phone ringing. Just don't want my caller ID. Just don't want the caller ID on there. But basically what this does here is, basically you can switch it over to recipe mode. And let's say you want sandstone. You don't know how to craft sandstone. You gotta be pretty newbie to do that. But if you don't know how to do that, you can just hit R on this. Or if you're in recipe mode only, you can just left click. It shows you the recipe. Some things, as of such, oak wood planks. You press U on it, it will take a little bit to load up all the recipes. I've got a pretty darn fast processor, and it took a couple seconds to line all of these up in sequence. But understandable, because I mean, there's a lot of recipes and data. It's got to memorize all that good stuff. And yeah, so okay, that's basically it. And if you want to press, if you want to see what the uses for clay are, press U. I don't know if hardened clay is in the game, but lead wire is, okay? Insulated coil. So you can just press U on it, and it will show you all the things it is used for in the crafting table, or even saplings. Saplings, if you press U on a sapling, let's find a oak sapling, and press U on that, then you can see all of its uses. This is from Steve's Carts. This is from Xeno's Reliquary, I think. These are some Philosopher's Stone things. It can be used for fuel, and this is what I was talking about. It's not just a crafting table. IC2 crafting, mixer, sapling, carpenter, and fermenter. This is what I was talking about. You can actually see all the recipes, and if you click on the little arrow or the middle part of it, boom, you can see all the recipes for the fermenter. Pretty easy and pretty useful. If you want to see the item IDs, well, then, I mean, there you go. It's $2.97. Bread is $2.97. Totally useful. Personally, I like to keep that off, just because. Also, you can see the old TMI layout, which I don't like as much, because it kind of feels like it's blocking some of my screen, with just a little black thing, and it just doesn't look... A little black square, it just doesn't look as good as that, because it looks like it has more depth, at least to me. Highlight tips, hidden, okay? Now, if you walk around, you're like, oh, what is this that he's staring at? What is this? Or, what is that? Or, what is this right here? I mean, what is this right here? You can go into options, highlight tips, shown. And this will show you at the top of the thing, if you can see it, right over there. This shows you, like, a little highlighter tip of, what we're looking at. And this is White Forest Brick. Sometimes it will not have an ID, kind of like... Oh, this does have an ID. But some of the items, when you look at them, they don't actually have a name, and those are just displayed as, like, the IDs or whatever. Okay, on to the next thing. NEI plugin options. These are the Liquid Dictionary names. I'm not really sure what they do. Check updates. I believe that's to update NEI. Enable OR Dictionary. Obviously, that's for... that stuff. I would just leave most of this as it is. It doesn't really affect anything. But, yeah. So, this is basically NEI. You can basically get most, if not all, recipes on there. One of the exceptions, and this is one of the major exceptions people are all confused about, is soul shards. Now, soul shards, we used to be crafted in a soul forge, and those were pretty easy to find. And you knew all about them. But if you were not in, if you have not tried soul shards, now the crafting recipe is actually on the ground. NEI does not cover multi-block things unless it's in the description, kind of like the iron tank. Here. Kind of like the iron tank stuff. Dang it, did I not? Yeah, there we go. So it shows multi-block variable size hollow. Another thing with NEI, you might be wondering, what is this item subsets? Or subsets. You can click on this, bring your thing over to mod. That would be what I usually click on. And then drag this little, scroll thing down. You can see all the mods, most of the mods that, or at least all the mods that add stuff. And if you left shift, and then click on, let's say, Bibliocraft, you can left click, and it basically just takes all the mod, or all the items from that mod, and just displays them right here. You might be saying, there's a lot more stuff from Bibliocraft, and that is true. I mean, Bibliocraft does have all of these from forestry, and all that stuff. But if you wanted to, find a very specific mod, like in this case, I would think, let's say, Twilight Forest. It's a very unique mod, and it doesn't really have too much compatibility with other mods. So this is like you just left shift on it, and you can see all the items from that mod. Some of them do have crafting recipes, and steel leaves do not, because I believe they're a mod drop, or your gas trophies do not. They're trophies. They get them from bosses. These things do not have recipes as well. Some things just do not have recipes. I mean, that's simply the case in some parts. But you just gotta kind of notice that and look on the mods forum if you think they have a recipe, but they're not showing up in any eye, and either they will have a recipe or they won't. So yeah, so I thought this was a pretty neat tutorial. Oh yes, and if you want to scroll on this, you can either hit next or previous, or you can also use the scroll wheel on your mouse. That also works, and that's pretty much my preferred option. I'm not sure if the arrow keys work. Doesn't look like it. But yeah, you can just scroll through. How do I make a darkwood bow? Press R in it, boom, just shows up. That's pretty neat. I just really like this. I really like this mod. Personally, one of my favorite in terms of functionality. Because if I didn't have this mod, a lot of other mods would be kind of annoying and redundant to look at. It would be like, how do I craft an IC2 battery? Oh yes, another feature. I almost forgot. You might be saying, well, how do I craft, let's say, let's see here. How do I craft, sure, a pulverizer, okay? You get a piston, a machine frame, piston. Dang it, I have in recipe mode. This is why, when you're trying to cheat, make sure to turn it back to cheat mode. Because that will take a little bit more time. Machine, frame, flint, I believe it's copper. I'm not sure, actually. Sorry about this. Redstone. Reception coil. Boom. And let's look up pulverizer. Okay, so let's switch it back to recipe mode. And you may be like, oh, this is going to take so long. I've got all the stuff I know I need, but it's still going to take a long time. You can press R on it, press the little question mark. Boom, it shows up as ghost images. But if that's not good enough for you, you can shift and press the question mark, and everything that's required, if you have it in your inventory, everything that is required will pop up in there, unless it's something like a battery that has damage value. That is one exception that will might screw you up. And so yeah, this is basically NEI, and if you have any more further questions or tutorial ideas, please PM them to me, or comment or whatever, in either my channel on Twitch or my channel on YouTube. I will most likely respond back to you within the next couple of days, and hopefully get a tutorial on that, or just answer it personally if I think it's a personal question. If I think it only applies to you and your system and all that good stuff. So, guys, thanks for watching. This has been Captain Techno, and this has been brought to you by Feed the Beast Unleashed, made by Feed the Beast, obviously. Slowpoke and Tog were the creators of that, and just give them a thumbs up. So, guys, thanks for watching. It's been Captain Techno. Please like and subscribe. Also, check out my Twitch channel in description. See you guys later. Captain Techno, signing off.